Going into it, I thought if we just worked hard enough and put enough energy and thought into raising a good product, the money would come along. That if we put all of our energy into good infrastructure, healthy animals, proper systems, and spent the money we needed to do that, that we would recoup those costs. It just seemed, all the books I'd ever read were like, you'll get there eventually. It's a lot of hard work and you have to put in more than you ever have. But it didn't happen. We're not giving up, like we're not going to stop farming, we're just in a really big pivot. We're phasing out our pork program because it's not working for us.
Yeah.
We've pushed ourselves as hard as we can, sadly, in the capitalism side, that we need to cut out what isn't making money. As much as we love raising these pigs, they're not showing the return that we need to keep doing it as a business. Our biggest challenge was that we tried to be as idealistic as possible and picked all these threatened, hard to raise breeds, which are awesome, but they're really freaking hard to raise. And they're not an easy step from the grocery store to our pigs. Like the cuts look so different, the flavor profile, everything is different. That I think that was our biggest challenge, is people can see our eggs look like eggs, and when you crack them open, they taste way better than store-bought eggs. When they look at our pork, they see it's smaller or fattier or whatever they're not looking for exactly. And that was our misstep, was we picked a breed that worked really well on the land, but wasn't really connecting to consumers as a product. So we're gonna lean into poultry. And hopefully it'll be easier on Danny and we'll figure it out.
Like part of the film that we did a few years ago, one of the things we talked about was kind of consumer expectations and connection to food. Have you noticed anything change at all or anything encouraging?
With eggs, I'd say, yeah, we've built up a good following of people, and then we had another upswing in January where when egg prices were skyrocketing in the grocery store or just straight up weren't available in the grocery store.
Egg prices at the grocery store are not coming down soon. Economists say another wave of bird flu infections is extending the egg shortage, and that's driving up the cost.
People were trying to be more connected to their food, and we heard multiple times people say, well, if I'm gonna pay this price for eggs anyways, I'd rather know who is raising them and like come out to the farm to buy them.
Hi, everyone.
I think regenerative farming is still kind of a niche.
You can say it either way.
Niche topic, and not everyone even knows what regenerative means still. You'll see that at market all the time, but more people are starting to be interested in it.
Yep.
And people all the time are getting more interested in their food, and like, I don't know, this new generation coming up, Z or whatever it is, they're drinking so much less alcohol and not using tobacco products, which in my mind is a sign that they care about their bodies and care about being healthy and living a long and healthy life. And that's gonna naturally lead them to good food eventually. So like, maybe they don't have the money to support regenerative agriculture right now, but I think they will, and they will do it in the future.
Could you real quick introduce me to your new canine?
Yes. This little one is Rosie. She's a protector in training, and her trainer is Chino, who he works at night, so he's ready for a big old nap.
Chino, smile for the camera.
Chino, come here.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you. I'm so tired.
Yeah, he works.
Oh yeah,
he's
the
been
coyotes
working
were
real
loud
hard.
last night.
The last couple of nights, there's been lots of coyotes and owls.
We've really bumped up our numbers for meat birds since the video. We're doing 300 chickens and like 150 to 200 ducks.
And we move them every day.
Yep.
This moves every day.
Yep.
Laying chickens, we're trying to add more coops. So we added another coop this year. We added a coop last year. So instead of building the coops, we've now turned to just getting old campers and gutting them. I mean, people kind of laugh when they're driving by and they see just campers in the field and chickens roaming around it. It looks a little funny to them, but it's so like cost effective. We got one of them for $100 and the other camper we traded for. We pay $1,500 in wood plus all the labor to actually build it. So you're looking at like a $3,000 or $4,000 coop versus a $1,000 coop.
That's a good deal.
I mean, the first thing to show off is probably just this field. It's doing way better than it was 5 years ago. And as we walk through it out to the pigs, you'll start to see more diversity in the field. It is still mostly grass, but we've got phacelia, sunflowers, a couple other things I don't know growing out there. And as we're transitioning it from kind of a monocropped hay field into an actual regenerative pasture, there's definitely weeds in there that we don't want, but that's okay, that's part of it too. So
Yeah, weeds aren't necessarily bad.
Yeah.
People think that they're bad, but just extra diversity.
yeah, I guess I just don't like the spiky ones.
Yeah, I guess
Always
there are
been
bad
curious
weeds,
about
but yeah, there are bad weeds, but I feel like we don't have a ton of those.
Phacelia's in here, there's clover growing in here, a couple dandelions.
This is lamb's quarter?
Yeah, that's lamb's quarter. There have been so many mushrooms in the field this spring.
Yeah, just another good sign. Right next to poop, too.
It's like barley or rye is in here.
Look at that yellow one.
Yeah, that's the salsify.
Well, if this was all smooth brome, this must feel good
It
as
does.
far as like how far you've come.
Yeah, even when you see the bindweed and you see the mallow, it's still just like, yes, we're
This
doing
is
it.
a big part of your goal, right? To restore the land.
Yes. That's pretty much the whole thing.
So right now you're working full time, or
So I'm full-time teaching, and then it's about 2 months for summer break now, and 2 weeks of those 2 months I'm doing a summer camp.
and since the film, you guys got married.
Yes, since the film, we have been married. We went on a honeymoon. We are officially pregnant with our first kid, which is exciting. I'm at 4 months, so I finally get to walk around being fat. But that also made it really hard to prep things in the spring. I was very tired after school every day. So Danny kind of ran the farm by himself for 2 full months, and now pretty much still does. And I just helping out where and when I can, and with stuff I'm good at.
It was pretty exciting though, like when the documentary's out. You know, you guys were
Yeah,
engaged
we
and
just
now
got engaged.
got a baby on the way.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think we got engaged after the documentary.
and then we put in the little blurb.
Yeah, on the
Yep.
credits.
Oh, look at us.
And then, then we got married.
Yep.
And now you're pregnant.
Whee!
It's like a movie.
It's the sequel.
Hallmark movie.
Oh my gosh.
Can I ask you about labor? Like,
Yeah.
have you tried labor? Have you thought about adding on extra labor? Is that in the plans if you want to expand?
We have tried it. We have tried it in different iterations where it's mostly been work trade. We were even putting out feelers for minimum wage work, but then Boulder County raised the minimum wage for unincorporated county, and we don't have the money really to pay someone. And work trade, every time we did a work trade person, the idyllic idea of farming was what brought them here. Different reasons for leaving, but it all kind of boiled down to they couldn't cut it. They couldn't do the grunt labor that is what we do every day. Scooping up poop, moving animals, hauling water, like the basic boring farm stuff.
When paying people always just cuts into our actual profit. So like,
Yeah, which
you know,
is for
Jeff,
the money.
Jeff was great, who
Yep.
you met when you were filming the first
Jeff
documentary.
was awesome.
Jeff was awesome, but that was also like all of our profit for the year.
Yep.
We just went to paying him, which
But
when
we
we were
needed
getting,
it.
yeah, and when we were getting started out, that was great. But now it's more of like, I'd rather kill myself with work than pay people my profit.
So you're working full time, and then as far as, because in the documentary we talked about having a goal to kind of break even by a certain year. Like,
We're breaking even.
We've been breaking even
For a
pretty
while.
much since the documentary.
Yep.
Can't say we broke even that year. Yeah, but then all of the profits, like I said, went to Jeff. So like we're still not making enough to pay ourselves, which is like, you know,
I think we will this year because we're not building new coops, right? Like, and we upped our meat birds again. We didn't do meat birds last year, and that's a big income area for us. So this is the year we're really gonna see. The animals pay for their feed, but we're not paying Danny yet. We're putting our hearts and souls and toil into this. We've talked to everyone about how great it is. We've had so many tours out here, and still people will buy it on like a special occasion. But their go-to is still gonna be King Soopers, or if they're feeling guilty about that, Whole Foods. I really thought at 6 years, like, we'd both be living off of this farm, but life just hasn't worked that way.
does it make you discouraged at all that the idea to start a small regenerative farm is harder, or is not as realistic, or is not as doable as like you thought in the big picture for other people to do this type of thing?
No, because we know that we did not make it easy on ourselves. Like we got into industries and are raising breeds that are atypical, and like it's not how I would, if I were advising somebody on starting their own regenerative farm, it's not, even back when we started, that's not how I would tell anybody else to start. Yeah, just got to focus on the things that actually work, and that's what 6 years ago, that's what I would have advised other people to do also. Like, there's a need for poultry, there's a need for eggs. That's what I would have told people to tackle, not pigs that take 2.5 times as long as other breeds of pigs to raise.
It's absolutely doable. We're just in a really big pivot, and that's a huge part of it, is you have to be ready to pivot for anything.
What would you tell a young couple or somebody considering starting a regenerative farm, regenerative livestock potentially?
You can't do it by yourself, I think, is a really big one. Your partner needs to be fully in on it too. And even then, having a community has been a lifesaver on so many occasions for us. The farming community around here is amazing. And I'd say, like we did, start small. Yeah.
I would say listen to the land, like farm the way the land wants you to farm, but also listen to your market too, because to make it as a farm, you gotta be selling your product. So if you're raising a product that people don't want to buy, listen to the market and get out of that product. That was our big thing, was we just listened to the land and like, okay, this is what we need to do for the land. It's like, okay, well, we also need to do stuff for our bank account too. And
And we've learned. You're always going to be learning.